Hey y'all, it is Georgie, aka GSD with Georgie, the CEO and founder of GSD Solutions here. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing one of the polls that I recently did on LinkedIn. This poll was asking the question, how long should the remote work week be? And this poll got over 100 responses on LinkedIn, so thank you to everyone that responded. And the responded folks, they answered between 40 hours, 32 hours, 24 hours, or finish when you log out. So the section that got the top two results, right, coming in number 2 was 32 hours with 35% selecting that option. And then coming in number 1 with 46% of respondents saying finish work, then log out. And what's my answer, right? What's my answer to this poll? And my answer is finish work, then log out. The 40-hour work week is totally outdated, especially in our modern day where we have various technologies and tools to help us delegate, automate, as well as outsource different pieces of our work day and activities, right? And certain work tasks that we needed to do before are no longer needed, right? The 40-hour work week was first coined many years ago when people were working in factories, and in order to try to, allow for unions to form and allow for a more structured work experience, it was determined that 40 hours was reasonable with a 1-hour break and sometimes even a 30-minute or a 15-minute smaller break in between the work day. Now that the majority of us, or at least a big portion of us, are working remotely, we're working from home, we're working from wherever, as well as our companies are often tech companies or companies that have different resources that allow us to not need a full 40 hours. And what I've found is that when people feel compelled to work 40 hours, especially if they're being paid per hour, right? A lot of folks are now doing freelance or contracted work that are hourly based. You want to rack up hours, right? You naturally, let's say your rate, let's do a medium rate of like maybe $100, $150 an hour, and your project took you 3 hours to complete. But that's because of years and years of amplifying your skill versus someone else that would have taken 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours to complete. Now you're done faster. And so by being finished faster, your total amount that you get paid may be less. So you may feel compelled to work a 40-hour or work more hours than necessary. And I say all that today to say that by working or feeling confined to this 40-hour work week, a lot of people are getting busy, booked, and burnt out. So just to highlight some of the, pros of a reduced work week, right? Flexibility. I personally know that I do use a tracker for billing of clients on different projects and different tasks, as well as I've increased my rate to allow me to not have to work extra hours or feel compelled to try to fill in miscellaneous tasks in order to get more income. So I'm like, hey, this task may take that other person that's at a junior, mid, or even a senior level X amount of hours. It takes me half of that. So my price is double or triple that price, because with less hours, you're still getting the same result, but that shouldn't lead to increased pay, right? We want to highlight that. Another thing is that when you clock out, when you're done, you have more work-life balance, right? Work-life synergy, as I like to call it, because when you think of your mental health, if you're consistently working, or overthinking about your work, right? Let's say you finished in 20 hours and you're like, oh no, I didn't meet my quota, I have to work more hours. You feel now compelled to, let me check this over, let me add that miscellaneous task, let me do this random thing. And then you put yourself in a rabbit hole. And I know that because been there, done that. And so, allowing yourself to clock out, especially when you're working remote, it's so essential to do this. Allowing yourself to say, I'm done now, clock out, and leave the work when you're finished is so key to good mental health, good work-life synergy. Another thing is that it leads to increased job engagement. If you're overdoing, overthinking, or filling in blank tasks with like a lot of nothingness, I would like to call it, then you're not engaged, right? Versus you're doing your work, you're feeling the passion, and you are working when it feels good for you. A lot of us show up to work, and we've seen this at different companies, and there's always a joke around, folks that work at the DMV or even sometimes in retail, they just don't want to be there. And that definitely can happen no matter if you're working at one of the fanciest or coolest tech companies. you get bored. You don't feel engaged anymore. Your task is done, and now you're just kind of sitting there hoping that folks don't say like, you know, you're distracted, so you fill your time up with miscellaneous tasks instead of saying, hey, my work is done. I used the passion, I used my energy, I was super ignited, but now I'm done, I'm gonna do something else, right? And some of the cons, right? You know, people always think and ask about what could be the cons. I just talked about some of the pros of a reduced work week. Some of the cons is definitely the opposite, right? You know, and I mentioned them already, which is the reduced work week equaling reduced payments. And that's where we have to, as a society, acknowledge better pay, right? More equitable pay. And equitable doesn't just only apply to different races and different backgrounds. If my speed in which and my expertise, my skill set in which I'm able to complete this task is above someone else in that same role. So let's just give an example. Something super simple. An email needs to be sent. 10 emails need to be sent. And I have, you know, worked and learned how to do mail merges, how to do fast email. You know, I'm a fast typer because I just have that experience. And it takes me 30 minutes to send those 10 emails versus someone that has, 10-year background in this industry that I'm in, whatever industry it is. And it takes them 2 hours to send those 10 emails. They're not as fast of a typer. They don't know how to do a mail merge, and they haven't done additional work to increase their productivity in which I have done. Does that mean that person should be getting paid for 3 hours of work and I should only be getting paid 30 minutes of work, and we're at the same, let's say we're both at $50 an hour? That's not fair. So because I've been able to learn the skill sets, amplify my productivity, amplify my speed, I should be able to get the, equitable pay for the work done. The project is complete. The budget that was set for it is still the budget. And so, I definitely want us to all think through like shifting to a budget-based world, as well as just charging what we're charging for our value, right? A lot of us undercharge. And so this is like a call to action to charge more for your value that you're offering and cut back on your hours and go enjoy yourself. So, I just wanted to come on quickly and talk a little bit about the reduced work week, because as we grow in our organizations, whether it's in corporations, nonprofits, as freelancers, as contractors, as CEOs, it's important that we acknowledge the importance of how we work. The future of work is here, and there's more to come. And the way we think about the way we work, why we work, and how we work is going to really evolve over the next 10 to 15 years, because we don't work the same way that we need to. And changing the work week hours, as well as the format of how we task a job or how we bill for a job, is going to really impact how we live our lives. And, happy people make happy team members and happy employees, right? So that's just my take on it. And I'd love to hear your opinions. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree, if you disagree, if you have additional insights on this remote work week or just the work week overall. Should it be 40 hours still, or is there another number that I didn't think of? So let me know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Remember to like this and subscribe. If you want to optimize your business, grow your small business, reach out to GSD Solutions Inc. That's our company, and we do a lot of this work internally for organizations. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.